or I'm sorry, the third part of this question asks about what would the enterprise value of the company be if it takes on debt equal to 50% of its levered value, what would the equity value be? And then it asks, what if the company takes on 100%? So let's go back to, I've added in this formula here, but let me just talk about this. So here, what we did was we started with the all equity enterprise value, and we said, what if we use debt of this percent? What this does is slightly different algebra to get at a similar thing. So you'll notice that we have similar values for debt when we do it at 50%. It's just a different way of doing the algebra. I'm not sure that this would be on a test. This almost certainly would be something that would appear on the final, but I want to show you how to work it so you know. This is the formula that we're using. This is a dollar sign, so debt is going to equal 50% of the unlevered value plus the tax benefit of debt. So here we started with 50% of just the all equity enterprise value. And here we are going to make all of these, we're going to factor in the benefits of debt in calculating the amount of debt we're going to have. This is a circular thing. We could solve for debt explicitly if we wanted to, but let's just use goal seek. Okay, I'm going to make up a number here. I just put $10,000. The leverage ratio is 0.5, which is in the question. The unlevered value is 177. The tax rate is 0.21. You could reference those. I just think it's easier to put it here and then calculate it. If we use goal seek, what we can do is, well, we can do debt minus 50% times value unlevered plus the tax rate times the debt. And then you do goal seek, what if analysis, set this value to equal by changing the debt. All right, so the answer here is 99,239. And so if we have all right, the tax benefit of debt is 20,000, and then the equity value is similar to what we have here. It's going to be the unlevered equity value minus the debt plus, plus the, I'm sorry, this is the enterprise value. And actually, I know that's not right. It's going to be the value of the debt. And let me make sure that I calculated that correctly over here. Yeah. So what happens is we know that the value of the firm is 50% equity and 50% debt. We calculated the debt value here, so that means the equity value is going to be the exact same thing. And that means that the enterprise value is 198,477. Let's check that. Well, we can't check it over here because that's not the right answer. Let's scroll down and check it. So 99,239, enterprise value of 198,477, which is exactly what we have here. And the sort of implication of that is that notice it's close to this, like 50% debt using this calculation and 50% debt using this one. The only difference is we're sort of backing into the number here. It's a slightly different set of algebra. It gives you a similar answer. The last question on here is if it was 100% levered value, what happens to the firm? And let me just show that to you. So if it's 100% leverage, there's 0 shares of equity. And I'm going to change this to 1 and then goal seek again. So what we end up getting is that the value of the debt is $224,857. Notice it's even larger than this. And the tax benefit of the debt is $47,000. Again, notice it's larger than the present value of the tax benefit. And if you, let's just check the solution. 224,857, and the solution says like this doesn't really make any sense. So if you back into this debt value, there's so much debt that you don't even have equity. Like there's no equity left in the company, and there's really no benefit to anybody for doing that sort of company. You know, you can probably get 8% somewhere else. There's no like real incentive for an equity holder to make the company better. So this is kind of a gibberish example in the sense that like it would never happen. Somebody's got to have equity to give everybody an incentive to keep the company going. But the point is that using this methodology at 100% debt, you have a much larger enterprise value. And the difference here again is just slightly the way that we approach it. So this one is looking at the enterprise value and then backing into the present value of the debt. This one is looking at the debt value and backing into it using the a 50% ratio and the tax benefit. I think you should study this one. I think this is a very likely question on the final exam. I imagine that we will probably write several questions somewhat related to this. So not several questions, but there will be at least one related to this. Anyway, hope that helps. Hope that gives you something to study. And yeah, that's all I got.